Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be answering the question, how can apostrophes help clarify an abbreviation? Well, the use of an apostrophe for plurals of an abbreviation can only work if we're trying to make it clearer for the reader exactly what's going on. My suggestion is try not to use apostrophes to show a plural with any abbreviation, letters or numbers, only if it's impossible for it to be clear to your reader should you do so. And in that instance, of course you should add an apostrophe. For each of the three examples, what I want you to consider is whether the apostrophe helps clarify the abbreviation for you. Now, in some of these abbreviations, I'm actually looking at an individual letter or a word. Is it clearer with the apostrophe or without? Hit pause if you need thinking time. So, how did you get on? You used too many buts in your writing. So with this example, I'm making it clear that the word but is what I'm worried about in someone's writing. It's clearer than me putting in speech marks but and then putting an S, or just putting buts with the S and not separating that out, because that could confuse a reader. They might think the word they were using too many times ended in an S, which is untrue. So this is correct in number one. Moving on. There are three consecutive S's in the words cross-section and just stick. I'm definitely certain I used this example just to teach you that fact, if nothing else. But it's interesting to note that it would be very confusing if I wrote two S's just to say that I'm referring to S when I didn't have the apostrophe. When I put the S and then an apostrophe and an S, I'm making it clear that we're considering the letter S on its own. So to help clarify an abbreviation here, the individual letter S is being clarified as the letter in question that's used three consecutive times in each of the words. Without me drawing attention to the individual letter, it would be unclear to the reader what I was talking about. It would look like a spelling mistake or a typo. So it's correct. Finally, they sent 10 SOSs on that tragic night that were not picked up. Now I'll come to what an SOS is in a moment. But I think it's questionable, but it would be slightly clearer if I added an apostrophe where it says SOS, then add the apostrophe and an S to ensure that it's clear that multiple messages were sent. And it's important for us to realise that with acronyms and abbreviations like SOS, we might not know what they mean, but if we know that they only have three letters, why add an additional letter that could confuse someone who doesn't even know what that abbreviation means and think it could mean SOSS, which of course is untrue. So it's about clarity. That's why I would add an apostrophe in the final example there. So you might be thinking, what even is SOS? Well, I've got a fascinating fact for you in my opinion. SOS was a message that was sent when people were in danger. And so we've got a special word for that because hearsay and almost a mythology around that word has led to people believing that SOS means save our souls or save our ship. And it's called a backronym because that's all hearsay. There's no fact in that. In reality, if you see here in the bottom right, I have an image for you with S with dots underneath it and a zero, well, the O with bigger dashes. That's because the message itself of SOS was Morse code for distress. And it's easy to transmit this message. So ultimately, apostrophes help clarify all manner of abbreviations that have huge ranging varieties and rationales behind them. Your job when applying the rule of whether you should use an apostrophe for the plural of an abbreviation is simply if it adds clarity. If nothing else, it helps a reader who might have a hint at what that abbreviation means or that word or letter to feel absolutely confident about the rationale for why it has been used. I would urge you to definitely look up more abbreviations, and if you'd like more explanation on different abbreviations that exist, please do let me know in the likes and comments below so that I make more videos on what you'd like to watch. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?